Hi everyone, this is James Bernard, and I've been asked by Pyramind to do a video for Beatport on using the arrangement markers in Logic to create a song arrangement. I'm going to be using Logic Pro 10 for this video. One of the new features in Logic is the arrangement markers, and this is a really quick way to get an idea for a song fleshed out without having to do a whole lot of copying and pasting and editing and things that you used to do in the past. So what I've got here is I've got a little 6-track, 16-bar idea or a phrase, and if you played everything together, there's a whole lot going on, so it's not really going to sound like this when you're talking about a finished song, but just to give you an idea of what it sounds like. All right, so there's a fair amount going on at the same time there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show the global tracks, and we do that by clicking over here. And with the global tracks, you can actually set up a number of items to be showing up in this section. If you were to right-click over here, you can configure exactly what you want to see. Everything from a movie, if there's clips, time signature, transposition, tempo, beat mapping, all of that. So for this process, I'm basically just going to be using the arrangement and the markers. You'll notice that the first thing that comes up is right away on the arrangement track. It already has something called intro, and that's preset and ready for me. So what I'm going to want to do at this point is I'm going to want to select this arrangement or intro part, and I'm going to want to repeat it. And the way I'm going to repeat it is I'm just going to do the simple copy and drag these guys over and do that a couple of times. So I've got these just repeated out. Now I want to work with different sections of this arrangement. So I'm going to start adding additional arrangement markers and just going to drag them to resize them to be exactly the length of what I want. Don't pay any attention to the names just yet, because we're going to change that. And what's happening is as I'm adding arrangement markers, it's just picking up right at the end of where the last one was. So since I'm not really doing a pop song, I don't think I'm going to be using the intro, verse, chorus format. So we're going to go with, let's say, intro. We're going to go with this one. I want to change it, and we're going to change it to main phrase. And on this one, I think I'll call it the minimal phrase. It'll be a more stripped down version. And then just for the ability to do something a little bit more stripped down, let's go to the build or break. So for the intro phrase, what I think I'm going to do is we're just going to keep the chimes parts here. We'll take out that bass. Let's say the tops for the first 8. And then we'll bring in these drums at the second 8, right about there. And we'll take out the chords. For the main phrase, what I'm thinking is something with the chimes and that tech bass there. We'll take out that minimal bass. I'll take out the chords again. For the minimal phrase, what I think I'm going to go with is just this minimal bass and the chords. Take out the chimes. And then for the build or break, I think for that, I'm just going to stick with the chimes, tech bass, and the tops. All right, so I've got 4 defined little sections here. And if I want to hear them, obviously if I jump to them this way, I can jump by moving my cursor to the point where I want it to start. Or what I could do is take these sections here, and we're going to put a marker at each one of those points. Put one there. We'll put one at 17, 33, and we'll put one at 49. Now if I pull up my list over here, my event list, and I'm looking at the markers, I can see where the start points are and what their names are. And the lengths are a little off. So I want to make sure the lengths are at 16 for each one of these, so that we have 4 defined markers. If I wanted to, I could just also rename them as well to be the same thing that we have up top, just to keep it simple. Now, what I can do at this point is, this is where I want the song. Let's say I want the song to be an intro, a main phrase, a minimal phrase, and then a build break. And then I might repeat that whole process. But that's my markers for where I want to jump in the song. But what I actually may want to have contained within that intro may not be what I've got up here. And this is where the arrangement markers come into play. So as it stands right now, if I play this, and by holding down Option, I can listen to this next one here. And you know what? As I'm listening to that, I think I actually might want to do this particular build break as the intro instead. Well, here's how the arrangement markers come into play. I could just click this area, click and drag that over here, and just like that, what's happened is everything that's underneath that marker, that build break, gets now moved to that section, and everything else gets pushed out of the way. Now let's say I want the intro section to be somewhere back over here. I can select both of these phrases, and then I can just scoot them forward, and the intro just keeps getting pushed back to the back end. And so just like that, I've actually completely changed the way the song was laid out by just scooting around some of these sections right here. Now let's say I wanted to take that main phrase and have that come right after the minimum phrase before this intro. Well, pretty simple. Just select that, hold down the Option or Alt key, click and drag it, put it right there, and now we've got a repeat of that main phrase. So just like that, I'm starting to flesh out a really quick arrangement of a song. So you can see how using the arrangement and the marker sections can really make the whole process of building up an arrangement from just a simple 16 or 8-bar loop a very quick and fun process. I hope this video has helped you get some ideas of how you can use the arrangement markers and global tracks in your productions, and hopefully I'll see you shortly with some other tips.
Very much like to thank Pyramind for hosting me here once again. I think this institution is really cool, and until I came here for the first time, I had never seen anything like it in my whole life.
What I think really separates us from other people who teach is that we are outrageously passionate about what we do, and especially in electronic music.
Since coming to Pyramind, I've discovered electronic music, and San Francisco being a mecca for underground electronic music opened up so many doors for me and kind of blew my mind.
We cover everything from absinthe to contact. When people get to the mind-melting level, we get into modular synthesis.
Everything about native instruments, everything about Logic synths down to the finest detail. We learned it all.
The fundamentals of understanding how things work, that's just essential. But then beyond that, there's so much more, and that's where it gets into just a lot of the artistic side of like the creative approach of why you do something, not just how.
There's a lot of schools that just, they focus on the technicality of recording music, but I wanted something that would foster creativity and really help me develop as an artist as well.
Each of our genre-specific programs comes in 4 levels. There's a basic, an advanced, a professional, and then a master's level. And the master's level is, of course, everything we do. It's the largest and most powerful programs that we can create for you.